Hello everybody, this is Clive at 5 and you are watching Most Embarrassing Replays. Thank you so much for joining me on Most Embarrassing Replays, the show where you send me your embarrassing replays, I watch them, commentate them, and put them up online for everyone to see. And I have a special surprise for you this week. I absolutely cannot wait. So let's go on and get into the first match. Alright, here we go. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Rickwee, the blue Terran, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Clive at 5. That's right, I have decided to put my money where my mouth is and commentate an embarrassing replay of my very own. I, of course, am doing this per request. I contemplated, should I do a replay of myself? I don't want to seem arrogant or whatever, focusing on my own gameplay, but I figure that since I'm putting you guys in the spotlight for mistakes that you make, I should also be willing to put myself in the spotlight for mistakes that I make. So here we are thusly. The map, of course, is Typhon Peaks. Right, and it's this big one. And we have a TVT, so super exciting. I bet you'll expect to see Tank, Marine, Marauder, Viking versus Tank, Marine, Marauder, Viking. But you will be surprised to learn that that is actually not what's going to happen. And during the course of the game, this Rickwee guy decided to complain about being matched against someone who, well, supposedly was a better player than him. I don't know if he was talking about me or if he was talking about the guy he just played. Both players going for a front door seal, and both scouting in the wrong direction. Clive just 3 seconds ahead of Rickwee. And first gas going down on both sides, so really nothing too unexpected here. I guess Clive's gas was just a few seconds ahead of Rickwee's, and I'm going to commentate this in the third person, or at least try to, because you know, just to maintain consistency. Probe's gonna waltz right past each other here and find that there's no base once again. Second gas going down for Clive at 5 right away. Meanwhile, Marine and, well, sometimes Terrans like to focus on sealing off their front door first when supply-wise they don't necessarily have to, depending on whether you're going 2 gas or 1 gas or really focusing on those Marines quickly. You may not need to put down that second barracks or that second supply depot right away. Of course, you could play like Clive at 5 and forget to put down your second supply depot and third supply depot and fourth supply depot and subsequently have to drink as per the rules of the King of the Hill. Or you could play a little bit proactively like Rickwee was doing and actually put down your supply depots on time. Also going for that orbital command a little bit late on both sides, actually. Clive especially slightly late. Factory going down for Clive as well. And here we have actually a second factory. Unbeknownst to Clive, though, Rickwee has already placed a supply depot here in this hidden edge. I've seen Clive play before, and he likes to, when he's going TVT, he always likes to float in a factory wherever he can. Not necessarily just TVT, but I've seen that before. So dual factory, I was expecting to see the pre-igniter. It'll be interesting to see whether he keeps researching that. No, he actually did cancel that pre-igniter research. His Hellion strategy now seems rather dead. On the other side of the map, a third barracks going down, so it looks like we're going to see a heavier infantry army. Quite a few idle units out on the map. Idle SCV, and actually Reaper. That's very interesting. That's something we don't see enough, I feel. 2 Reapers, so I'm gonna guessing he's going to wait for the magic number 3 so that he can one-shot workers. Marine just waltzing out here to check to make sure Clive did not continue to build any sort of a proxy factory. And instead, Clive's researching Siege. Surprise, surprise, since it is a TVT. Expect to see those siege tanks. Reactor going down on the starport, so we'll probably see some combination of medevacs and those Vikings for the scouting ability, of course. Tech lab going down on the barracks. Now it looks like these Reapers are ready to start pushing out. Now 4 Reapers instead of the 3. A little bit later Reaper harass, but can still be effective nonetheless. Now we do see dual gas, but not entirely saturated on that second gas for Rickwee. That's kind of a hard name to say. Now these Reapers are going to come in. Clive did not have anything in this corner to spot it coming. They're going to get quite a few drone kills. 1, 2, 5, 6. Looks like, wow, quite a few kills on those Reapers. Nice job on that harass. Clive is going to have a tank in position to be able to scare those Reapers away. But of course, they get away still living. Delaying a lot of mining from Clive at 5. So nice play by Rickwee on that. Taking a look at income, we do see actually a pronounced advantage on the side of Rickwee at that point. And it does look like he's going to start putting down a command center now. Clive, in the meantime, loading up those dropships and is likely going to go for a little bit of drop harass. And if he gets good positioning on where he drops this, Rickwee could actually be in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have anything out to spot air yet, and if Clive is able to drop those tanks in this brush area, well, he does have vision from this supply depot, but once that supply depot is out, it's incredibly difficult for a Terran to stop a sieged tank in this area without air support. In the meantime, those Reapers just continuing to bounce around, probably looking for a window of opportunity. And here comes the drop. Siege tanks are in place, and the Marines are stimming in. They're going to be able to take out a tank. Wow, nice play. And oh, Clive has to be careful about those Marines, not letting them get picked off by the Marauders there. And really should be using these medevacs to spot a little bit better. Now a couple of Marauders are going to charge in, not going to be able to get at the tank, and Clive's going to be able to shell away at these supply depots relatively unopposed. In the meantime, it looks like Rickwee's going to stage for a bit of more harass just to maybe get Clive to pull back a little bit. Now coming in with a couple more Marauders, but not bringing him into focus on that siege tank. And Clive did bring in a couple of SCVs in order to repair that siege tank, so very difficult to stop that now. In the meantime, of course, those Reapers did do quite a bit more harass, and Clive going to take this opportunity to move out his expansion. Rickwee is best served to, and build up his force a little bit better, while Clive is able to take out a few supply depots here. He isn't doing any really serious damage, as you can see. Rickwee is still in the white, so to speak. Now running in with those SCVs against those Marines, and Clive is going to get a bunch of SCV kills. However, those Marines are going to get taken out, I think. Coming in with his own SCVs? No. Now Clive is... No, Rickwee is retreating with those Marines after Clive takes sizable chunk out of his harvester count. It's actually almost even here. Kind of an interesting near reset on this match. Medevac's going to retreat with those SCVs on board. So, now back to production. A starport now going down for Rickwee. Oh, not going down, I guess, since there was an SCV there, not quite being able to finish that yet. So, Clive does have actually a window of opportunity here to bring over a few more troops. I wonder if he's going to do that. This replay is from a couple weeks ago, actually. I had the idea to possibly commentate this, but I wanted to let it sit around for a little while so I wouldn't remember exactly what happened. Economically speaking, actually we see quite a bit of an advantage on the side of Riqui. He does have a few mules out on the scene. Now Clive did drop 4 more mules, and it's going to even things up a little bit, but he is behind on that income. Riqui, in the meantime, is moving out with a bit of a force here. Clive is out of position, leaving his natural totally unprotected, and actually this Marine and medevac force could do some serious damage and at least take out these mules, which is going to be a serious economic hit against Clive at 5. And they do recognize this opportunity, and they are going to charge in, taking out, yeah, 1 mule, 2 mules, 3 mules, 4 mules. Clive coming in with a Banshee. He does not have Cloak on that Banshee, bringing out a siege tank in absolutely the worst possible position. Both of the siege tanks are going to get picked off. Only 3 more Marines available to pick away at that Marauder Marine Army, and, well, they are going to get stopped at this front door, but not before, well, Clive just letting that command center get picked away at, and it is burning, though I don't think it's going to go down because now Clive has that siege tank shelling away at the troops at the natural there. So nice recovery from Riqui. Now he is starting to produce from that starport and has both an income advantage and an army advantage. So Clive seems to be in a bit of trouble here. Really needs to get that command center back out and producing. Needs to stage out forward to protect this supply depot in a nice concave area with those tanks to protect against those infantry pushes. What can we say here? What's being produced? There is a tech lab on that starport, so I would be curious to see if we're going to see some Banshees, more idle SCVs. Oh! Fusion Core! So, we may be seeing some battle cruisers, and that would be very exciting, and would indeed make for an embarrassing replay. These medevacs are not watching. Oh, one medevac goes down, and the second medevac going to be pursued by this Viking. Oh, yeah, the Viking can fly just a little bit faster than the medevac, and it's going to be able to continue to pick away at it, and Clive might lose this. No, dropping the Marines and firing away at that Viking, and the Viking's going to get taken down. Very close play, and not to pat myself on the back, but I actually did something right there. Yay! Okay, in the meantime, now just starting to mine again from that natural expansion. A lot of mules, so kind of I'm wondering if he had some wasted energy that wasn't being used for income there, and might indeed have a temporary economic advantage, but it looks like SCV out in the top right corner. I wonder if he's going to go for an expansion up there. Let's see. Decent Marine Marauder army, and actually going for another starport. So it does look, yes, now the first battlecruiser is in production. And yes, now a third going down for Riqui. He's probably going to just focus on the gas, because that's going to be the big difficulty with battlecruisers, is making sure you have enough gas for them. Though he doesn't seem too concerned about it in his natural, just 1 harvester apiece on gas. 5 harvesters in his main. And let's see what Clive is producing. I'm absolutely confident that this has not been scouted. No. Last Clive knew that starport was still in production, so it's been a while since he's scouted his opponent's base. He does have a decent Marine army, though probably not enough to take care of all those battlecruisers. Cloak now just about to finish for Clive. Hopefully he'll use this opportunity to do a little bit of harassment. Turret's not exactly in the right position to defend against those Banshees, I would say. I find that the ideal spot is between the orbital command and the minerals. You might be able to pick away at a few of the SCVs at the edge there, but it's really difficult to actually take out those, or sorry, to get very far in with those Banshees without getting picked away at by a missile turret that's more nested inside this ring here. And missile turrets have such a long range too. You saw as that medevac was coming in, it was only around here before it started getting hit at by both the missile turret and the Vikings. So incredible unit range on those units. In the meantime, Clive not really doing anything. Army advantage definitely goes to Rikwi, and once this base starts producing, well, just focusing on the minerals, that's interesting. 2 battle cruisers out on the scene. Let's see. And income-wise, yes, Rikwi decidedly in the lead there. Scouting out to make sure Clive isn't up to the same sort of thing. Clive, in the meantime, has no idea about that ninja expansion in the top right. Just about mined out of his main. Starting to look a little bit thin on Clive's end too, but Rikwi did do a really nice job of cleaning out Clive's harvesters in the back there, so still has a little bit of a little ways to go here. Clive continuing to produce more and more siege tanks. Not going to do any good against those battle cruisers. Now Rikwi starting to move out 4 battle cruisers with Yamato cannon, a lot of Marines and Marauders, and the siege tanks will do fine against them, but it's the battle cruisers I'm worried about. I don't see Clive being able to fend this off, and this is going to be catastrophic. Just a single, couple missile turrets there, but really it's not going to do anything. And now Clive hopefully spotted that. Those battle cruisers coming in. And yikes. Yep. Infantry getting a little bit too close to those tanks, and they're going to get splattered. Clive. LOL. Capitals. Yeah, this is a pretty humiliating moment for any player when you realize there are 4 battle cruisers in your base, and you only have a handful of Marines. Rikwi's loving it, of course, and gonna focus down those SCVs, and Clive's already damaged income is going to plummet even more. Actually gonna focus down the command center. Of course, there's nothing really to counter that. A few Vikings out, but really 3 Vikings versus 4, 6 battle cruisers. Not gonna do a whole lot of good. That command center goes down. Oh, siege tanks trying to run, and it does look like they're going to get away because instead the Vikings are going to Yamato those Vikings. Oh, actually, Marines doing an okay job taking down the 2 weakest battle cruisers there. Might even get a 3rd before they're finally taken out, but really, not too good. And Rikwi deciding not even to use his infantry force. Now, these tanks are going to come and just do a bit of annoying harassment against Rikwi. It's really too little too late. Clive scattering the troops, and yeah, too little too late, literally, on all fronts here. Now bringing in his infantry army to just utterly decimate the remains of Clive at 5's army. And Rikwi, though, he's run from the battle cruiser. Oh, just now Clive is able to scout that top right with a single Marine, and those SCVs taken out. And it looks like the tanks are going to go up to the top right base. Clive doing that crap, I have a billion minerals in the bank thing, and just building command centers everywhere really is not going to do any good. Getting a bunch of Vikings and trying to rally them to a safe place, but those starports get taken out pretty easily. Yeah, really not much Clive can do at this point. Roving band of Marines and Marauders are definitely going to scout this. Yeah, definitely scout that. And Clive should definitely cancel that. Well, really, he should just GG. But, you know, players like to think that... yeah, see? Even match. I wanted to make him feel better. That's why I intentionally lost this game. Just kidding. When in doubt, mass BCs. Oh, is that a little bit of bitterness from Clive there? And Clive's last mass BC beats Tank Marine. Yes, it does. And finally, Clive GG's. End of game. Wow. Well, that was a fun one. Also, I have gotten a lot of replays from y'all this week. I do appreciate that, and I don't want that to go unnoticed. So I'm going to come back with a part 2, even though that was a 25-minute replay. So hopefully y'all have a little bit more in you and can wait a little bit longer for that team match to come. I'm going to get the next replay set up. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of Most Embarrassing Replays. I'm your host Clive at 5, and this is a match between Void, the red Zerg in the bottom left hand corner, and in the top right corner we see MTU Pyro, the blue Terran, hereafter referred to as Pyro, pleasantly typing GLHF to his opponent. Void, on the other hand, says, no thanks, everyone says that, then keeks my ass. So not very polite on the side of Void. Not very good manners, Void. I secretly say that, but I also love to see some bad manner play, especially when it's coming from my opponent. Yeah. For those new to StarCraft, definitely do not... Oh, a bit of a gas trick, so we might see a more of an economic opening on the part of Void. So yeah, to those new to StarCraft, hello, I'm getting my nerdy activities mixed up. Do try to be pleasant on BattleNet. It's no fun to, of course, be sworn at by your opponent when you're winning, or to swear at others while you're being destroyed. Suri just came off a tough loss, still upset. Void, meet spacebar. Right. Gas going down now for Pyro. It's about correct timing, and a barracks, of course, at the front door, and you have to block off that front door versus Zerg, of course, because there's always chance for some sort of a Zergling break early in the game. Void going for a spawning pool, though not the gas, got taken out by an all-in while my armies were in Nidus. It sucked bad. You know, I have never seen that, where units in a Nidus canal got taken out. Because you had to take out both the worm and the canal, I believe, in order for the units to get destroyed. But that would be a huge loss. So, Void, if you're watching this, please send me your embarrassing replay, because I would love to see that and feature you on this show. Yeah, the show, by the way, I'm just going to fill in some time by saying that the show airs Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock Central. And we also do another community activity, King of the Hill, on Thursday nights at 9:30 Central, so check that out on poweroverwhelming.net. We'd love to have you be part of our community. A couple of spine crawlers going down for Void in kind of a weird position there. They don't really protect against a run-by, because these units could just run around and destroy stuff from this angle. And SCV now going to wander in and see that, and it's... yikes. Tough times for this SCV. Either death by queen or death by giant spike worm thing. Yeah. Tough life that SCV has. Not sure if I mentioned this about the... yeah, interesting choice doing the spawning pool first without the gas. Usually if you're going to go a really fast spawning pool, you're going to go for like a 6 pool so you can harass your opponents, or not necessarily a 6 pool, but really early Zerglings so that you can charge up a ramp. Or you go slightly later with a gas to get that speedling upgrade right away. Now gas is starting to go down. or you go fast expand. Those are kind of the 3 Zerg openings that one tends to see. And scan going off in an interesting position. I typically, as a Terran player, scan right over top of the Zerg hatchery because they almost always put their tech right around their minerals. I think that's to block against Hellions running by or really copycat players. I'm guilty of that myself too. Sometimes I don't really know why I place my buildings in the places that I do, but they end up there anyway. Hatchery going down now for Void. In the meantime, 3 barracks from Pyro. Taking a look at income, a little bit on par, though it does look like I didn't want to disable music. I wanted to bring up these players, though Pyro is a bit ahead because he has not started mining that gas at all. So Speedling's just a glimmer down the path of his future imagination, or something to that effect. And he moved those spine crawlers down to his front and going to plant down 3 more, so 5 spine crawlers on the front door. That's interesting, and maybe a little bit overkill at this point in the game because really 3 spine crawlers would be, if they were positioned correctly, like 1, 2, 3 would be enough, or maybe like closer to his mineral line a little bit, would be more than enough to fend off this small group of Marines and Marauders. MTU Pyro actually deciding to push out and will get scared off by these spine crawlers should they encounter them. Small Zergling goes splat. Meanwhile, I like the placement of this supply depot, just granting vision to this back edge. Make sure that there aren't any Nidus worms planted down there. That's a good tip for other Terrans to do. Definitely have full coverage of your base, though be careful not to put them too close to the edge, especially if you're worried about Mutalisks, because Mutalisks can bounce in there and attack that. Even if you have a missile turret nearby, you can't run in your Marines as effectively to defend that. If, say, your supply depot was here, I'm missing a bit of a push here. Gonna run it. Wow! 9 spine crawlers now being produced, or already produced, I guess, from Void here. That is just exciting. So really, really nervous about this natural being taken down. Nothing here even mining yet, so I don't know exactly what he's protecting. So anyway, as I was saying, I like to see my buildings placed in just a little bit because you still have the vision around this edge, but you're not as susceptible to be taken out by Mutalisks or Banshee Harass if you're playing against a Terran or something to that effect. Factory now going down to Pyro and a command center as well, so it does look like he's going to get a bit back into the economic game. I say that, of course, though Pyro is definitely in the lead when it comes to mineral harvesting here. Wow, very well saturated at his main, I will say that. More than 3 rows, well really you just want 2 rows. Zerglings out on the scene, and Pyro actually walking around the other direction. Pyro does have a large army in his main to be able to defend against this, and of course the turtling supply depots are up and in position. Not really a whole lot going down. Roachhorn, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to actually speed it up 1 notch here. Okay, Orbital now going to move out, going to see these Zerglings. It's going to be interesting if he moves around, or if Pyro's going to bring out his forces to accompany this. Yes, going to come out here, and Zerglings letting the Orbital Command land, and then charging in and getting totally destroyed by that Marine and Marauder army. Ouchies, Void says. Not really the word I would use to describe that, but that's cool. Gonna leave these 2 Marauders there for precautionary measure, and I actually like that because oftentimes you will see, well, players try to build in that back. You'll see Protoss trying to put pylons back here. You'll see Terran players trying to build buildings or bunkers or other things back here. Bringing siege tanks around this back ledge to shell the natural. A lot of action likes to go on, and of course that's what makes Xel'Naga Caverns. Xel'Naga Caverns is this distinctive U, or actually C-shaped ledge around here, which also serves as a conduit to the back of your opponent's natural. Now, oh, Nidus! And it is going to be spotted by these, and in the meantime, Pyro landing and pecking away at this queen. The queen might indeed go down. Just sees the edge of that creep. I wonder if Pyro's going to be able to respond if he actually sees that. The queen goes down, and a few more drones get taken out. Now coming in with this army, and is going to see and attack that Nidus Worm, and the Nidus Worm is going to go down. However, Void still does have all those troops loaded up in the Nidus Canal in his, or the Nidus Network rather, in his base. So his troops are fine for now. Man, how did you see me? What I did? He saw your creep there, and he had some units in the back to scout, as is a wise precaution. And returning, actually, to scout. Zerglings running in, trying to take out those Marauders. The Marauders will win, though they do stim beforehand. Honestly, did not need to stim those in order to take out those Marauders. Interesting positioning of these Overlords. They're kind of, well, whatever, I guess. There's only one Overlord near his base, so and Pyro isn't going for Banshees, but hypothetically, if Pyro were going for Banshees, you'd need these Overlords in position to morph into Overseers and scout that out. I know what this is. This Overlord is now beginning its long, slow trek up to Pyro's base in order to plant another Nidus Worm here somewhere and flood his base with units. In the meantime, Pyro is coming in with some dropships, and looks like he's going to push in the front with a large Marine and Marauder two-pronged attack. Very well coordinated, I'm going to have to say. If it does go through, yes, it does look like these troops are going to move into position. Oh, now Overlord speed is finished. I was going to say, that's going to take a while. Roaches against Marauders, not good. Void Mate, you got to bring back those roaches so that your spine crawlers are going to do the work. Oh no! It looks like they're going to pick up. I saw it! I saw it! All the roaches, all the Zerglings in the Nidus Canal get totally destroyed. That was the most rewarding 6 seconds of my life. Oh, Void is not happy, and neither is that Overlord who just said, I came up here all the way from the bottom right-hand corner of the base for nothing. In the meantime, now there are enough Marines and Marauders to blast through the spine crawlers, and Void is just not going to be happy about this. Last spine crawler goes down. Such BS! Well, maybe next time you won't leave your bank with 3k minerals and instead produce more units that will destroy your enemy instead of crying when your Overlord takes 10 years to fly up here. I'm sure he started moving the Overlord up and it was going a half a mile an hour, and he's like, crap, what can I do to make this go a little bit better? So he came back, clicked on the nope, no Overlord upgrades here. No, that looks like an nope, that's a Greater Spired. No Overlord upgrades there. Oh, Lair, I can upgrade Overlord speed, and started upgrading that as the Overlord was starting to slowly make its way across the map. Oh, that was too bad. I bet he had vision, too, of just the edge there. Oh, so close. Well, thank you very much to MTU Pyro for sending me that very entertaining replay, and you'll notice that MTU Pyro did not lose. This is an example of an appropriate replay to send me if you lose. I typically prefer that you send me replays, embarrassing replays where you lose. However, replays like this are also definitely acceptable, very entertaining. Thank you, MTU Pyro, for that. Yes, definitely check out poweroverwhelming.net. Tuesdays and Thursday nights are the magic times to join us. Most embarrassing replays on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Central. The King of the Hill Bronze through Platinum on Thursday nights at 9:30 Central. Also, if you have an embarrassing replay that you'd like to send me, please send those to cliveat5.action@gmail.com. No numbers, no symbols. cliveat5.action@gmail.com. Would love to see your replays in my inbox. Thanks everyone who's sending those replays. I'm going to have to get to work because now they're starting to flood in and I am loving it. So please keep them coming. And check out my new catchphrase, stay embarrassing, StarCraft. Maybe not. I'm just going to test that one out for size. Thanks again for watching. See ya right following this for the team matches, and see ya next week for another episode of Most Embarrassing Replays.